Alright, our opponent is Trash Goddess. Is she the goddess of talking trash, or digging into dumpster trucks? I always wonder about the backstory of some of these things. Let's see. I don't have a 2-mana play, so go ahead and put out the dual land. I don't care, that comes out tapped. And then it's time for Thirst for Knowledge. And we did not get anything that we wanted, really. We got a dog. What are we up against here? A bunch of vampires or zombies? Which is it going to be? Let's try and look for an artifact. And absolutely nothing. Thanks a lot, Magic. I was pretty sure I had some artifacts in this deck. They're not showing up. Okay, my enemy is appropriately set up now.
Under my watch, neither vampire nor human will go extinct. My ways are not for the weak.
We're not going to block that. He's got Vigilance, doesn't he? We're just going to keep drawing stuff. I'm not going to get rid of land. We'll get rid of a couple of those things. And we'll be done.
Dire times call for dire tactics.
No, we don't allow life gain. Brilliant restoration it is. I don't want to play that, but we do want to play this. And go ahead and knock out... Oh, we have to select which one it is. We don't need more zombies right now, but I do want to keep soaring down to a manageable
Your blood
level.
will be mine!
Oh no. That's why we held a spell in reserve. Just give me a chance.
Blood for
Give
knowledge.
me a chance. Oh,
A
they gained a
fair
life.
trade.
I don't like you gaining life. It's only during my turn. No blocks. We're gonna die! Alright. Let's go ahead and pay the full cost for that. We'll get rid of one land. What is up with all the brilliant restorations? I already got a brilliant restoration and used it. Okay, land can come down. We'll pay for that. Use the treasure. And all it did was give us more lands. So now we pay for a dog. And do we have anything in the graveyard yet? No. So we're just going to pay for another dog. There's what I wanted after I've used all of my mana and all of my spells. Thanks a lot, Magic. Everything short of actual help. 4 dogs. We'll see if we can pull this out.
Dire times call for dire tactics.
25 cards left in the entire deck. I'm sure I'll get something someday. Okay, all the dogs. All the dogs go bye-bye. Alright, this is where the fun starts to happen. Oh, 10 damage to anybody, huh? That's a fun card. Sure. How do we want to do this? Let's start with this. We'll use 1 enchantment to bring everything back. Cast that for free because of Arcane Bombardment. We will discard a couple cards. I guess big score. And we get to draw 4. How many do we have left? There we go. Oh, we can cast that right off the top, can't we? That's okay. We'll just cast this one. I knew exactly which ones they were going to take care of. And I can actually cast that, can't I? Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of an unholy efficient. Kill my dog. I'm so close to death. Murdered another dog. He's murdering my dogs. Somebody stop him. I think I'm gonna be down to like 2 health.
My ways are not for the weak.
Maybe 1. Okay, the dogs are getting sacrificed again. Poor things. That's twice you've all died in service to me. Do you have anything good that we got rid of? Yeah, you got a lifelinker. But I feel like I should draw another card. Play the land. Play a bombardment. Play this for free. We'll use it with that one. Submit. Submit 0. See what Arcane Bombardment finally kicks in and lets us do. Another draw card. Thanks, Magic. Let's see. Discard an artifact card. Yeah, sure. Who can we attack? Guess we'll get rid of you. 3 more cards. And get rid of you. What are we down to? 7? Resolve all that stuff. And then restore everything. Now I get Vanquish the Horde. Cute. Next, for my next trick, we clear the board. And resolve. And I don't think I want to draw any more cards. We have to discard 6. Okay, so let's get rid of... I like my Invoke Justices. We'll get rid of that card. We don't want to draw. I don't think we need more land at this point. Don't need to draw you. Is that 6? There we go. Did I mention this deck is basically a self-mill deck, and I just plan to destroy myself by milling myself. That's pretty much the goal here. Sure. Finally creates a flying vampire.
You deal with this annoyance.
I think he was trying to get to the 7 for the ultimate. Does not attack. We get stuff. Let's take you. Let's take you. Good stuff, good stuff. Oh, look. Arcane Bombardment. And Invoke Justice. And the thing we want is Educate Leveler. Vanquish the Horde. We'll decline that. We'll use that. We'll get rid of the flyer. No, I'm not gonna draw anything. And one of those to get rid of you. And declining everything else to draw. Yeah. And let's get all the counters on the wind with lifelink. Does that give me 2 turns to do stuff? Is there anything else good in the graveyard that I can get back? I don't want a dog, because the dog will draw me stuff. Nope. Everything else is worthless.
You will serve me well.
I could return a land. You exiled my creature. Yeah, I guess we'll get these guys back. Only 2 turns to do stuff. Let's return. Doesn't really matter. Anything except the dog that's causing me to draw stuff. Here, we'll do that. Target you. Cast a whole bunch of this stuff. Neither one of those. This one. I guess we're just going straight for the face at this point? Or... no, let's get rid of that guy. Those are 2 draw cards. We don't want those. No, draw that one. 6, 10, 11. Okay, so we just want to get rid of these guys. Those are all things that will cause me to draw. And we distribute counters again. We can't gain any life, so I'm down to 1. Okay, then we use this to get rid of you. And then we can just go through and attack you in your face. That seems fair. Oh, and 1 for the Planeswalker. Alright, so that's 1 life point, 1 card left in the deck, and we win. Against the Trash Goddess.
I will not spare you.
And I don't think that I came up with this deck by myself. So we are going to make this part of the series called Decks That Beat Me. And we're going to go in and show you how it's working. There's a lot of graveyard recursion these days, and I blame the Brothers War. So this one's called Revolving Portal. And I think people are used to, what is it, the recommission spell? Is that it? I don't want to type it because it'll take forever. So we'll just show you this deck. Instead of using the recommission spell to bring back Portals to Phyrexia, I have 2 Portals to Phyrexia. That's the mythic rare from Brothers War. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices 3 creatures. You saw my opponent this time didn't really have any problem sacrificing a bunch of cheap chump blockers, you know, the decayed zombies and stuff like that. But at the beginning of your upkeep, you get to put a target creature from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It can be your graveyard, it can be their graveyard. And what we're basically looking at doing is finding it with our thirst for discoveries and thirst for knowledge. And if we can find these and throw them into our graveyard, then we can bring them back with Brilliant Restoration. And we just need to survive until then. So to get me there, I've got a couple of removal spells against attacking creatures. I've got 4 of the Spirited Companions to help me draw through the deck, 3 Faithful Minnings to also help me draw through the deck. We draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards, so we're throwing things into our graveyard, you know, basically anything that we want, we're going to throw into our graveyard that we can't cast. We've got our other draw spells, which came up early and netted us a bunch of lands mostly, right? We've got 3 call in our professionals to try and stop them from gaining life so that when we are in a position to attack, it's not too much for us to do too late. 3 big scores for additional draw spells that again populate our graveyard. So all in all, you've got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spells that draw and throw things into your graveyard. Then we got the things that get things out of our graveyard. 4 copies of Invoke Justice to get 1 target permanent card from our graveyard to the battlefield. We can stick 4 +1/+1 counters on any number of creatures and or vehicles. So we can bring back a dog and get another draw card. We could just bring back a land if we want to stop from drawing, as you saw in the first match there. But the cool thing is you get the +4 counters on them too. Usually what we're looking to do is bring back a Portal to Phyrexia or a Cityscape Leveler with this card. We've got 3 of the Arcane Bombardments, so if we need to keep drawing, we can. You can always decline, as you saw, and we ended up getting all 3 of these bombardments out on the field. And when we do that, then we can just start throwing away our call-in professionals and getting rid of their creatures or just hitting them straight in the face, so we have options. We have 3 Brilliant Restorations. You need 4 white mana, 7 total to do it, but it returns all artifact and enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. So no matter what we get out, whether it's the 4 dogs, or the Arcane Bombardments, if they have a way to get rid of enchantments, we can just bring them back. We have 2 copies of one with the Multiverse, a mythic rare enchantment. You can look at the top card of your library anytime. You can play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. And once during each of your turns, you can cast a spell from your hand or the top of your library without paying its mana cost. The cool thing is it's not a legendary enchantment, so we can have 2 out at the same time, so we can do it once during each of our turns for each enchantment, which might have saved our bacon. We do have 1 board wipe, which was, I think it was like the 5th card from the bottom, so it took us a while to get to. So it could be argued that we need 1 more board wipe. But, you know, this kind of makes it fun and risky, so I keep it in there. We've got 1 copy of Cityscape Leveler. Again, another mythic rare card from Brothers War, 8/8 Trampler. When you cast the spell, and whenever it attacks, you destroy it to 1 target non-land permanent. So if we're bringing it back from the graveyard, that part doesn't work. We're just getting an 8/8 Trampler out on the field. But if we do get to attack with it, then we get to start creating the tapped Power Stone tokens and destroying target non-land permanents. And the 2 portals, of course, and 1 explosive singularity, which can win us the game if we ever manage to exile it and cast it with Arcane Bombardment. Let's see, 10 damage to any target, so we're usually going straight in the face, which is why we don't want them to go over 20, because we can just hit them with 2 cards, basically, in their face if we get things going right. But, you know, you saw how things worked out. Things were looking pretty hairy for us almost that entire match until we pulled it out at the end. I don't even have a Field of Ruin in here. It's just the different lands. I tried to make sure that I've got enough white sources, because we've got Invoke Justice, which needs 4 white sources, and Brilliant Restoration also needs 4 white sources. And plus we still need a couple red for the Arcane Bombardment and the Explosive Singularity. So lots of white, a little splashes of little combinations of red and blue as needed. And I feel like I kind of showed you the entire deck, because we went through all but one of our cards running through the deck in the last match. But let's see if this match turns out any different. And usually what happens if you don't have something handy to take out the portal to Phyrexia, and you have a number of creatures, just the appearance of it on the field can basically destroy anything that you were hoping to achieve. And so they could use the same trick on us if they got going faster than we did, right? Because I don't have a way to destroy enchantments in this deck, really. Which could be a weakness. Could be. It is a weakness. Okay, we kind of need more lands, so let's see if we can find an artifact this early. And we don't, so we're going to discard the enchantments. They're too expensive. We need our lands to build up the lands, because we want to play Brilliant Restoration. Part of the reason I had a little bit of difficulty in that first match was probably I was throwing away too many lands and holding on to my enchantments longer than I should have. We'll keep the expensive ones over on the left. My opponent has a strategy based on drawing through his deck as well. And he's already hurting me. Okay, we're going to, let's see. I guess we're okay with discarding a basic land card. For now. Because we got 1, 2, 3, we've got our 4 white mana sources. I'm okay with trying to hardcast a one with the Multiverse if he has a counterspell. It's possible he could have a counterspell that also exiles us, but let's wait and see what happens. There's a Cityscape Leveler. We've got a one with the Multiverse there. So let's do it. Oh wait, let's do Arcane Bombardment instead. Target me. Who cares about counters on creatures? And the reason I did that is because this is a sorcery, so if it gets snapped up by Arcane Bombardment, we could use it to bring back one with the multiverse easy enough. Down to 10. We're not looking good, are we? Okay, we'll start here. See if he tries to counterspell. He does not. Do we want to draw? Sure. That wasn't the spell we wanted. But we can discard the Cityscape Leveler now. And we gotta get rid of, we'll get rid of this, and we'll get rid of one land. There we go. Okay, so we can put that puppy down. Speaking of puppies, here's a puppy. I'm assuming they have a counterspell. There it is. Let's see if we can stem some of the damage or not. He keeps his own creature safe. Likes the card on top of his deck. And you can flash it in at the end of this turn or wait till next turn. I think it's time for an Invoke Justice. Let's go get one with Multiverse, shall we? And let's draw through our deck some more too, while we're here. And we'll discard, I think the lands we can discard now. I feel like with the 7 lands, that's all we need. And we take 4 points of damage. Now it's time for some fun. Cast this for 0. Do you have a counterspell? He does not. And Portal shows up and they scoop. So that's what happens a lot. If he had a counterspell, we were just going to vanquish the Horde and board wipe him anyway. I don't think he could have flashed in the Fairy and done 8 points of damage. So that was a little bit smoother. You see they still get, they get things on the board. They start smacking us in the face. This deck kind of matches a lot of my strategies. When I played chess, I was trying to be patient, tried to lay traps, tried to play for the long term. I try and do that in Magic too. But what that means is a lot of my decks I end up getting beat up for the first 10 or 15 life points. And then my deck kicks in and I'm able to assert control. And usually when I get into trouble is when that doesn't work out. We don't have a 1-mana play, so we can go ahead and play our tapped dual lands. And again, it doesn't matter which we put down. I guess the Storm-Carved Coast, so we get red in the mix. And they're starting to do stuff. Let's go ahead and put out a dog. And we're getting a lot of draw spells. I guess let's use one. Let's see. We have to discard 2 no matter what, right? So, actually, I don't want to get rid of that one, do I? Get rid of that one. And we're done there. It's got 2 wedding announcements. Gross. That's going to be a problem for him. Things that get rid of what's in your graveyard are a problem. And so, we play that, we play that, we get something else, and we're done. Pass to attackers. He exiles my dog. Shame on you. I have to throw something else away. Let's make it a faithful mending. He still gets to take away one of my dogs. Let's give him the other one. He can still cast a spell. But I think his spells are based on... Oh, he's got a second one handy. Gross. He's gonna take away what? Don't take away my dog. He took away the faithful mending. Okay. That's kind of good. Possibly. Because now we can do Invoke Justice. Get our dog back. And he becomes a 5/5 dog. And we get to draw a card. And he doesn't need to worry about exiling my dog from the graveyard because he's got removal, which is also exile, and we're gonna die! I can't cast that. I can bring down another dog. We can play the land. We can draw 3. And there's nothing in there that can help me, is there? I think we're dead. Nothing really came up right or in time for us there. And a large part of it is basically he's able to get rid of stuff from our graveyard. So we'll let him have that one. And we'll try again. And you notice the first time that we log on, these are the first games I'm playing for the day. And we don't really have a problem. And then all of a sudden, our deck, which is based around getting things out of our graveyard, and we come across a creature, that, 2 creatures in a row, the same creature in a row, that eliminates things from our graveyard. So whenever Magic feels like putting us up against that kind of deck, they can. Finally, vanquish the ward up front. This is usually when Magic decides to put me up against a discard deck, but whatever. Our 3 most powerful expels, except for Portal to Phyrexia itself. And we get all 3 of them up front. Thanks. Thanks, Magic. You're a pal. We're also up against a graveyard recursion deck ourselves, so maybe this is a bit of a mirror match. Let's put down the dog. Let's kiss goodbye to the dog. And he just gets his own creature back. Must be nice. Thirst for knowledge. Look at that, we got a Portal to Phyrexia for a change. That is so abnormal. We have to discard a card. Yuck. Get rid of Mountain. Doomed Dissenter. Didn't you already die once? Are you just doomed to die over and over again? At least you are with this deck. Okay, next. Gain 2 life. This is why Faithful Mending is in here. It's for a little bit of life gain. And let's go ahead and... Use our dog. The draws are not the best right now. There goes the Doomed Center again. But he's also tapped out. You'll draw 2 cards, lose 2 life, go back down to 20. And since the Doomed Center is gone, I don't have to worry about a creature coming back in a second. So I think now's a good time for Vanquish the Horde. Clear the field. I don't feel like doing Faithful Mending. It's not the one in the graveyard, that's the second one. We'll allow it. Can't attack. That's all you're going to do this turn? You have so much mana. Okay. Oh. Now we'll do Faithful Mending. Throw away you, throw away you. Just give me enough life to hang out for a little bit. There we go. Discard a card. He gets rid of a Terra Sunder. What we want to do is get... Oh. Portal. Portal or one with the universe? Such a tough choice. One with the universe. Because now we can play lands off the top of our deck, and we can play this for free. And we get everything back. Bloodsworn Knight may be able to discard a card and get indestructible, but it doesn't protect us against the sacrifice trigger of Portal to Phyrexia. And now we have our 7 lands, which is all we need. It should be cake from here on out. We don't care about any of this anymore, basically. It's gonna bring back... Most times they bring back the Dreadhound. And if you don't, I probably will. Yep, there it is. Maybe you waited because he can't cast it this particular turn? I don't know. We will sacrifice a doggy. Poor doggy. Okay, what do we want back? Do we want one of theirs back? Here, let's get Gravelighter. That's a good way to do stuff, right? Okay, lands off the top. You can die now. You can be cast for free, which gives us another turn. Let's see, did I already place a land? I already faced a land, didn't I? We'll play Big Score. We'll cast it for free. We'll throw away Faithful Mending. Draw through our lands. And we get another land. 3, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we pay for the dog spell. And draw another card. And it's another land. Okay, so then we... Oh, hang on. Yeah. You know what? I wanted to do that. I'll do that. Because now we're ready for an Arcane Bombardment spell. All three of them are in the bottom half of the deck. We don't care. Okay, what do we want to get back? I feel like this. Ooh, Thrill for Discovery. There's what we want. Okay, so we discard a basic land card. We've cast this for free using one of our Win with the Multiverse things. Oh, we got dogs and everything ready. 21 cards left. Plenty of time. Our opponent is out of ammo completely. Oh, that is perfect timing. Submit 0, 10 to the base. This is so sweet. Faithful Mending, get some of our health back, and we'll get rid of a couple of lands. And I think that's enough, right? That feels like we've done enough this turn. In the turn, discard how many cards? One, and actually we're going to keep the Cityscape Leveler. We'll get rid of one. Lands. 2, 3. So if I thought 7 was sufficient, we've got 9 and a treasure, so that should be good enough to do with anything that we want to do now. And they realize it, and they scoop. So it's been far enough since I encountered a deck similar to this that beat me. I don't remember which ones are my additions and which ones are theirs, but we'll go ahead and we'll go in and show you the deck one more time. I'm assuming that they had 4 of Portal to Phyrexia. I'm assuming they had 4 of everything that beat me, basically. So, but I don't think the Explosive Singularity is my addition. I like the idea of being able to take them out in one blow, or maybe 2. And the Calling of Professionals. As usual, I don't see people using this card a lot, but when I have red, I tend to think of this card a lot. There's a lot of ways to gain life in this game still, and if I want to get them down to 20 points and deal 20 points of damage, I have a way to handily take them out with 2, if only I can make sure that they don't gain life in any particular way. So I put those in. 4 Faithful Mendings was a little bit too much for me because I already had all these other draw cards in there. And if I recall correctly, all 4 of these cards were used against me the first time I encountered this deck that beat me. They draw through their deck really fast with this. I don't remember if the Fierce Retributions were in there. The Spirited Companions were, and I believe the Arcane Bombardments were, and the Portal, and the Cityscape Leveler, as well as the Brilliant Restorations, of course, and the Invoke Justice. I don't know if there was a Vanquish the Horde or not. I don't remember if there was one in with the Multiverse. I suspect one with the Multiverse was my addition, just because it's one of my favorite cards from Brothers War. So, you know, I take what they beat me with. You know, they beat me with their draw cards and getting Portal back with Invoke Justice and Brilliant Restoration, and keep drawing with the dogs. That was how they beat me. I think they did bring out Cityscape Leveler, but the game was well lost by then already, right? So my big contributions are, I like using one with the multiverse. I like using Call in a professional to prevent the life gain, and I really like being able to cast Explosive Singularity. I only have one copy of it. If I had more, I might go ahead and shoehorn more in there at the cost of one of the draw spells, perhaps. But anyway, that's the deck. It's called Revolving Portal. Let me know if you would put different cards in there. You think I've got too much that I'm drawing through, or is there just something else that you'd like to bring back from the graveyard? Or maybe there's too many weaknesses in here. Maybe I need to have something that destroys artifacts and enchantments because I didn't bother to do that. Maybe I need to put one of the rune lands in there to destroy a specialty land. There are some things that I normally do with other decks that I don't do with the decks that are in the series of decks that beat me, just because I didn't see them use it. So I want to minimize my influence on these, because I want to expose you to somebody else's way of thinking, somebody else's deck construction, and ways to build decks that can still pretty decisively destroy you in battle. Right? But I do also like to still put my own, fill the gaps in with things that I think add to the concept, or maybe improve it, or at least give it my own style as well. So that's the idea. Thanks for joining me. Remember to like and subscribe. This is Travis signing off from Tpull's Corner. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.